What's up, guys, and welcome to my spoiler review for episode 4 of season 3 of The Mandalorian. This is The Foundling, and it's an episode that basically surrounds itself around Grogu and how he practices and trains to potentially become a Mandalorian. And I thought that was really interesting too, where he chooses the 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 shield, the chest shield shirt, the mithril, or whatever it's called. He chooses that in the Book of Boba Fett instead of the lightsaber. So, I guess we're fully realizing that he will become a Mandalorian when he gets older. So it's going to be interesting to see this species. I mean, how the hell is he going to have a helmet on? I mean, those ears are just they're going to break. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they could get him a special helmet, but that'll be interesting. But yeah, I thought it was really fun to see him training with the darts with the kid who eventually gets captured, and Bo-Katan leads the group to save the kid from the big bird beast pterodactyl machine, whatever it was. Uh, and I thought it was pretty interesting and funny that they brought the three of its babies back to train or whatever they're going to do. Use them as shield or something. I don't know what the hell they're going to use them for, but I thought that was pretty interesting that they now have these wild beasts that they're going to bring up to work in their favor. So I thought that was interesting. And that's the episode as a whole. What you get though is the meat in the middle, the juice in the middle that I loved. And I think I only have like one nitpick with it, and of course I'm talking about Grogu having another flashback, a very in-depth, detailed flashback of how he escapes Order 66. Now we have to see how he departs Ahmed Best's character to where where we find him in the first episode of the season 1 of the Mandalorians, because he's by himself. So I don't know. I'm very excited to finally put those pieces together, and this time we got a big chunk. We see how he escapes Order 66. A lot of the Jedi's are just getting wiped out. He goes up the elevator, and Jar Jar Binks is behind the door. Of course, it's not Jar Jar Binks, but it's Ahmed Best, the actor who played Jar Jar Binks in the Phantom Menace, the whole prequel trilogy. We see him as a Jedi. Uh, we don't know the Jedi's name, but man, was he kicking ass. Like, just to see him with a lightsaber, it was incredible. Like, he has some skills. And if he went face to face with Anakin Skywalker, I think that would have been a great scene in Revenge of the Sith. That would have been a great fight scene. I don't know if you guys remember the PS2 video game, but there's a scene and level in the game where you have to go up against Sin Darling and his apprentice. Uh, I would have loved another level where he goes up against this guy. I mean, this is pretty damn entertaining to see him do his thing. The only nitpick and gripe I had was the green screen. When he's on the cruiser with Grogu, and it almost reminded me of Hagrid and Harry Potter in the Deathly Hallows Part 1, where they're all disguised as Harry and they're flying through the sky trying to get from point A to point B. This reminded me of that. It's just the CG here, the green screen, the backgrounds of Coruscant. I don't know. I think it looked better in Attack of the Clones, to be honest with you, when Obi-Wan is dangling from the droid that shot out the snails or whatever it was to kill Padme. I thought the backgrounds in episode 2 looked better, but you know, I guess they didn't put all their money into that scene. I mean, the creature effects of the creatures I was talking about before looked great. So, Coruscant from space looked great. The outside of the planet looked so good. Uh, some of the backgrounds of Coruscant look great, but when you have the people flying through, on their ships, and then you got the backgrounds, it doesn't look great. But that's my nitpick. I love the episode. I think it was great. But what's season 3 about? I mean, what's it about? Is it about regaining Mandalore? I mean, what's it about? I mean, basically, the majority of the last episode wasn't even put in the recap of the beginning of this, like they say previously on. That whole bit with the scientist wasn't even included in that, in the recap. So, what was that about? I have no idea. Wasn't referenced at all. So, we'll see how it all plays out. But what's the story here? What's it about? But this episode is directed by Carl Weathers, Paulo Creed himself, uh, who I thought did a great job. This might be his best episode so far. He did a great job with it. So I loved it. This is probably my second favorite episode of the series so far, or season 3. I think I would say episode 1 was the best. And then I would say 3. Then I would say, no, then I would say 4. Then I would say 2. Then I would say episode 3. So that's how I rank them for Mandalorian season 3 episodes anyway. So we'll see what happens next, guys. Comment down below. Do you plan on watching the future of the show? Are you curious to know what the overarching story of the season is going to be? Leave that down below. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Future spoiler reviews for episodes of The Mandalorian coming up. Also, tomorrow night's episode of The King's Corner, which is our weekly review show. We're going to be talking about another big one. It's John Wick Chapter 4, along with some other films as well. Also, you can follow me on Twitter, RyanKing72, and Instagram and TikTok at KingArises131. That's been it for me. Thank you so much for watching my spoiler review for episode 4 of season 3 of The Mandalorian. And until next time, over and out.